Namaste, welcome back to Old Boy TV. You are very welcome. I'm happy and I hope you're happy too. I'm evidently in central London. Now the reason I came here is see where all this building work is. There's one of the buildings just a little bit further up. I came to show you because it's got a stained glass window that's quite literally under the ground and about that far away from the pavement. I can't show you it, but it would have been a great example of what right across YouTube is referred to as the mud flood, right? Or the Great Reset, where evidently somehow an event happened that brought so much mud, and maybe the flood, the biblical flood, right, brought so much all over the world that it literally raised the height of land, sometimes by 10, 20 feet, and sometimes by a hell of a lot more, as you'll see on other channels. Again, have a look at Paul Cook, have a look at Martin Lackey, have a look at John Levi. These people do incredible work. So even though all of this, but by the way, Tim, look up. Always look up, people, right? Because what you see with your vista on the ground is overbearingly in every country in the world, you're looking at shops. That's what your vista sees. But when you look up, you see the reality of how these incredible buildings have been constructed, right? So look here, right? This is the first one we've come to. Oh my God, look at that. What is that? Is it a going downstairs into a basement? Would it have been built like this and purposely in the, I'm guessing, early mid 1800s? Of course not. Just of course not. They had no JCBs. I mean, look, here we go. Straight away, look, you might have to go over the top, but they've barred it in because obviously it's very easy for people to get down and break in from these places or maybe sleep. But look at the floor to ceiling height of these rooms. You can see that these aren't little basement rooms. It's not built to be a basement. That's built to be a room. And why would you build a room like that with an amazing window, quite literally 20 feet underground? You wouldn't. It's a ludicrous idea. While we're here again, we've talked about this in previous videos, right? The ironwork, right? I mean, why? Oh, it's just because it's so beautiful like that. I just don't go with it, right? In fact, what's the reason full stop for all of the ironwork we have all over the world? Me personally, I don't know, and that's the real key. In my opinion, this is some part of a power grid system that we know nothing about. Just come around and look at these buildings, man. Now, this is like a regular London street. You know, yeah, we're in central London, but this stuff is off the scale. These buildings are quite literally magnificent. I mean, magnificent, what better word? And all of them on both sides of the road, we go down, I mean, what's that? It's got to be about 15, 20 feet. What do you reckon, Tim? 15, 20 feet, right? So, you know, what do we imagine? Again, I've been through this on another vid, that somehow the builders were like, what we've got to do is we've got to dig everything out and then put the foundations below that and then build up. But we're only just doing that. In fact, there's quite a lot of them closed off here. It's a hotel, so they've tried to style it out by imagining that there aren't stairs. Here we go, here though, right? We're going to dig it out, right? They're going to say we're going to dig it out. I mean, look at this. Look at it. Right, we're going to dig it out. And you go, well, why would we dig it out? Surely the ground floor should be on the ground, right? Not underneath. And look, underneath to the point where there are windows all the way along here, as we saw earlier, right, that look out onto nothing, onto a wall. Now, the brilliant thing about London and exploring it, and I've lived here all my life, but now that I see his story is completely fake, all of a sudden I look at the whole place with new eyes. I mean, again, let's look, we looked earlier, look at the work above all of the windows. So unneeded, but so perfect. And again, the work on the railings, just incredible. And then, what the beep, beep, beep is that? I mean, I'm assuming it says Third Church of Christ Scientists. Wow, there are Christ Scientists. This is brand new to me, but we're going to just go and have a look in a sec, right? But let's just, as we go down the street, we get an idea of the scale, right? So if all of these buildings on both sides of the road go down at least another floor, it means that either the buildings were dug and put in like that, which is very without a JCB or a great big digger, but they're doing this with shovels, right? It's a bit unlikely. It's more likely the way that everything has ever been built is you level the ground and you start building. But you don't build under. If you're building a basement, it doesn't need to have beautiful windows. It doesn't need to be anything other than a practical thing. It doesn't need to be a room. And why would one ever have windows that look out onto nothing? I mean, nothing at all. I guess, you could stick a picture on that wall of nothing of your favourite person or your favourite place or something you want to manifest, but that's just me really being hopeful, which a lot of people are hopeful that they've been told the truth. I hate to tell you, nearly everything we've been told is a lie. Now, the only other building, look at the top of that. Look at that arch thing on the top, man. What's going on? If you imagine that that's somewhere where, the CEO of the business or the chaplain in this case or the vicar went up there to have a little word with people. No, that ornateness at the top, even though it seems unlikely to us in our realm, I would suggest is a practical. Oh, no, crossover. I'm sorry to be dragging you all around, but they've covered up over here. But now here we go down again. I mean, boy, do we go down. I mean, come on, peeps. Really ask why. Don't ask me why, because I don't know, but ask yourself why and try to come up with as many answers as you can. This is a complete aside story, right? 2.5 years ago, I was admitted to hospital, and within an hour and a half, I was being taken into an operating theatre where I had 3 sets of surgeons operating on me back to back, and I was then in a coma for 9 days. I will show you a picture of me in a coma now. Yep, that's me in a coma 2 years ago. Fortunately, everything worked out, right? It was like the phoenix from the flame. The old boy is right here, right now. However, when after a month of being in intensive care, I went down to a ward, the guy in the bed next to me had fallen, right? It was in the press. He'd fallen out of a 4th floor window, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the top of there, right? Pretty much a bit higher, one higher. He'd fallen, hit the press, and he'd fallen, and he fell onto railings like this, and it went through his eye and out of the other side of his head. He broke nearly all the bones in his body on the way down. Now, imagine you and I are the surgeons, right? You look at they had to cut, the fire brigade cut the bars here. He was put in a helicopter, taken to St Mary's Hospital in London. They're amazing. Thank you, St Mary's. They saved my life and they saved him. But this guy, that's through his head, coming out the other side. I would possibly go, look, let's keep him heavily morphined until he passes. Let him go gently. But no, one surgeon's gone, yeah, I've got this. I reckon I could do this. And they literally took literally one of these out of his head. They put all of his bones back together. When I met him, he'd been in for 3 months. I was having conversations with him like you and I are talking right now. Wow. Surgeons, I bow to you. Doctors, not sure. There's a big debate, maybe another one. Right, let's go around here. Sorry for that aside, but literally, they look. They're like spears. Right. So what have we got? It says we've got heal the sick. That's a pretty good idea, right? If you heal the sick, because my feeling is that what we refer to as churches, maybe not the chapels. Chapels maybe for praying, but what churches and cathodes, were actually for healing, right? Because they're geometrically perfect, very often have these incredible organs and very specific colours. And those are healing things, potentially. So 3rd Church of Christ scientists, heal the sick and cleanse a leper, and raise the dead. This is a place that can raise the dead. If you're dead and you need to be raised, this is the gaff for you, right? But beyond that, let's actually, joking aside, Look at the majesty of the building. It's incredible. We've got on the sides of these two windows, the two windows at the top there, my feeling is those things are called fasces, potentially where the word fascist comes from. And fasces, it seems, I don't know, because I know nothing. And it's better to know nothing, but only know nothing because you've asked a lot of questions and you get to I don't know. And don't research, look and trust yourself. Don't worry about the head. The head's going to fill you with confusion. Listen to your gut. What's your gut feeling when you look at things? My gut feeling is that actually, and I'm going to actually, there are, I've got a picture. I've got one picture in my world of my great granddad, right? He would have been born at some time, I don't know this, but he would have been born at some time in maybe the 1850, something like that. There's a picture of him with his missus, my great grandmother, and some of their children. My granddad is in the picture. He's only 8, right? If you can see this now. Look at these people, and there are loads of these pictures. They couldn't build this. They couldn't build an apple cart. They couldn't look after their shoes, right? But look, and look all the way at the top. I mean, what is it? If any, in fact, it's now a church, but it could be a museum, couldn't it? It could be a governmental building. It could be anything that it's designated to be. The White House looks just like a museum or a church, doesn't it? Or St. Paul's could be the White House. See what I'm saying? Whatever they're designated as, they become. And they very rarely do you hear the word constructed, built with a date. It's always founded. It's a very weird word to use, but it means found. I mean, my God, if you found something like this, you may, but look, can you see in the middle of it? Right? Look, can you see in the middle of that picture, Tim? It's a magic lantern. There's a magic lantern right in the middle, above Hill the Sick. There's a magic lantern with stuff coming out of it. Look, I don't know if it's the genie. This is incredible, man. I'm going in. I don't know about going in because it's locked up, but let's have a deeper look. Again, these would have been post-fitted with electricity, but they would have been here the whole time. What did they work on prior to electricity? These buildings are built before electricity. Pamparash, as Catweasel would have said. And Catweasel, why isn't that even on telly anymore? But what? Uh-oh. So, if you look through, it's actually got a courtyard. That's modern stuff at the back, but I would imagine that, well, actually, maybe it's just narrow, but who knows? I mean, it's a very confusing layout. The two halves, but it's got this giant arch again. It's a lot to take in, but do you know what? When you're out and about, don't look at this level. Don't look at your eye level in the shops. Look above, wherever you are in the world, pretty much. Look up and look at the buildings and realise that they were built beautifully and incredibly, not like anything that has been built since or before. You are watching Old Boy TV. I haven't asked you to like, share and subscribe, but I'm going to ask you to do that right now. Thank you for watching to the end, by the way. Like, share, subscribe. Trust yourself. Don't do your own research because you don't know who wrote it. Trust you. You're it. You're not a drop in the ocean. You're the whole ocean in a drop.